first time with a 50? Come on, go full gas.
Dead target.
Just try for the target down there since you done screwed up that one. It's always important when you have, it's not exactly like he's new to handguns, but if you're going to train someone in, you got to do it right. And the first thing, the absolute first thing that you train a guy on is the proper use of an eagle. First, you got to go full gangster with him. Get a good grab and just fuck yeah! Guys, Friday. Yeah. Friday, and it's an actual real Friday for me, so my wallet's not too happy about it, but Chuck will make up the balance. Oh yeah, this isn't the... That's why, as it turns out, this is why he was crying, because his goat died. Sorry, I don't feel like bringing myself to nearly like puking. That's much better. I see that she's either in or at least a resident of California with the bullet button. Yeah, that's that rifle is literally set up as a ghost gun, and it can empty out its 500 round clip, and under like, I don't know, it's like under 3 seconds. It's pretty vicious. So, few things right off the bat. Another one of Obama's brothers shot a police officer at point blank range and then emptied his magazine out on the officer. The officer, unbelievably, is still alive, took pursuit, and well, either way they got the guy. And of course, like I said, we know this because he's one of Obama's brothers. What are we looking at today? We're looking at Delirium Tremens Belgian Ale. Thank you, Vanna. We know this one has a great opportunity of being awesome because it has this with that on it. Oh, and I haven't talked to Jay, but going off of you know, whatever anybody else can get, probably better stay the same for me. I did notice when I was looking at more of the samples on a real monitor instead of on my phone, you cannot mix and match. You cannot mix and match prints. So if I decide to just do my slide, I'll probably have to just stick with one thing. I am kind of leaning more towards another, but I think it'd be cool. If I remember, I'll show you guys tomorrow if I haven't already put up a video over there first. I suppose going off of what I've learned in the past, I should have a see if it has a glass recommendation. I do not see one. This is 8.5%, by the way. I don't know. What the hell? If we're going to drink something out of a big cool bottle and it has a great chance of being really tasty, I've been told by Nick in Canada land that it is really good. Ooh, it's got the smoke. close. Bloosh, and the camera is covered. Okay, let's do this. Oh yeah. Right off the bat from here, it smells awesome. That's, for a Belgian style, it has a little bit more of a sweet smell to it. If you don't know what Belgian ale smells like, there isn't any form of descriptions that are going to really do it. That I can tell you what I don't smell. I don't smell the coriander. It doesn't smell real peppery. Instead of being banana-ish, it's almost more of a, almost like a sweet pear and kind of clove kind of smell going on. So, cheers, guys. Guys, and Tara, if you haven't like run away yet. Definitely carbonation. Yeah, there's definitely carbonation. There's carbonation. It's only in the glass. Only in the glass. Fuck you, Chuck. Ooh, that was weird. What was that? It, as you can see, it's, the carbonation level is like almost near like champagne levels. I mean, obviously it's not sweet like something like that, but you know that if you've had champagne, you know, versus like beer or something, or when it's got some carbonation, it just seems like, you know, okay, it kind of has some carbonation, but it's almost like, I know it's got to be imaginary. I mean, are the bubbles smaller? It just seems like there's more bubbles grouped together. What difference does it make? None, if someday we can see you in prison. Okay, let's talk about it. It's smooth. It's pretty damn tasty. Nick, I can see why you like it. It has the taste is a lot like what you're smelling. Like it's definitely the Belgian style, but it's not peppery, and I'm not really getting any of the coriander or like the clove even. It's more like the Belgian yeast and like subtly like pear. Guys. Yeah, Chuck, I'm sorry. I missed that memo. Coincidentally, just for the record, both me and Jim, I mean, I think I've gotten something from him before, or maybe I'm just on some kind of a mass list, but got like a Google live chat or whatever request, and it's like, I'm sorry. As of right now, I'm pretty particular on who my, well, Chuck is kind of a wrinkle in that statement. So I no, it doesn't work. That doesn't work either with Chuck. Sometimes I'm particular on who my friends are. I'm just saying. Well, not necessarily in this case friends. Just I don't. We as a group. If you've ever been to one of our chats, yeah, let's just say they're not quite ready for prime time. Hang on, I have one quick technical thing to do, only because I'm looking at it. And if I don't want to forget anymore, and if I can get it unplugged, I can even show it to you. Okay, here we are. I'm sure you guys have seen these. This is just something that I use in the safe. EverDry system has a little window there, and it tells you if it's blue like it is, it's dry, and as it works its way down to the color of Chuck's panties, it means that it's wet, and then you just flip it over, plug it into the wall, dry it out, and then stick it back in the safe. So that's set to go back in the safe now. Speaking of safes, Dub Glock, evidently just to torture several people, actually, requested to see my, well, I'm assuming that it was just a typo, so I'm assuming that you wanted to see my Glock. I mean, I don't know what all that other stuff was about. Soft music, low lighting, and then we'd like to see your, like I said, it's obviously Dub Glock had a well, the G and the C are relatively close, so I'm assuming from his comment that he wanted to see my Glock. Presently, there's four of them, and not a single one is in stock configuration, but oh well. Things that I don't like about most guns: the triggers. That is something that if it's in my power, I change. As of right now, everything has room for improvement. I had a supposed Smith & Wesson professional redo the trigger on the Smith & Wesson 1006, which is honestly a huge improvement over what it was on stock. I mean, for God's sakes, the double action on that gun. I mean, they got to keep in mind, it was that series of pistols, they were, high stress. The whole idea is with the adrenaline pushing through your system, you don't want to by accidentally, squeeze the trigger where, you've all seen the stuff where a 98-pound woman lifts pickup truck off of child after a car accident because the adrenaline and blah, blah, blah. But I don't plan on, service carrying all of them, and in the meanwhile I want to enjoy them as they rotate their way through to the ranks of being used. Some of them were marginal, and if you were to go down through the collection, some of them are absolutely stellar out of the box. The Walther PPQ M2, I think hands down has a finer trigger in it right now, stock, than some of the guns after having trigger work done to them. So let's reload this, and I'll show Dub Glock my Glock that he wanted to see so badly. Guess we'll start on the baby end. Coincidentally, in real life, because up until recently I can say I was never really a fan of the 9mm. We had some 9mm pistols in our collection, and both me and Christine ended up selling or trading every 9mm for something else. And in the case of the first one, which is the G27, this is supposed to be the baby 40 cal. This one I received years ago, the Lone Wolf conversion barrel from JR10 Desert Gold. Along with that, he sent me a box of the Underwood, which was my first encounter with Underwood ammo, and since then, everything that I've ever had from Underwood stomps ass. I remember, case in point, I remember Jim, also known as Gray Bush or Pussy Hands, told me that the reloads that he gave me for the 50 AE Desert Eagle were hotter than shit. And after shooting some of the hollow points and trying everything that was in that box, the Underwood ammo pretty much decimates that as far as some oomph behind it. But Underwood, just awesome stuff. Some of the best stuff, and I prefer the Hornady XTP head stuff. I have almost every caliber that I shoot, which was the other thing. I think it was Dub Glock. I'm sorry, I could be wrong. Somebody requested bullets, which, to be honest, they were already on the table before I cleaned everything, and since then I put them back up here. So, just quickly, not to shift gears. Hey, we can drink beer and talk about it at the same time. Well, I'll drink beer. Well, hopefully you're drinking beer. Starting at this end, we have a 22 long rifle, 5.7, 9mm, 40, 10mm, 45, 357. I guess I should have put a 38 special out, but close to the same thing. So technically the 38 special should be in there too, because you said put a row of ammo representing everything that you have a gun chambered in. So 38 special, 357 Magnum, 44 Magnum, 454 Casull, 50 AE. Going into rifles, 5.56, 7.62 by 54R, 308 BMG 50, and then a 12 gauge shell and a 10 gauge shell. So there, those originally were out, and I put some of that stuff back up. I've put a few more things out, and kind of where I want to end right now. It's kind of bumming me out though. I have my Marvin the Martian that Alaric 357 gave me. I've got my paintings that mean the world to me that Tardisius did. My Marvin the Martian that says, yes, my Acme 3000 is loaded and I feel safe, and he signed the back of it and dated it, and that was a birthday present. And I've got the Leonard Nimoy one that he did for me, and I have those in the reloading room right now. I have to figure out a way to display some of that stuff. I just kind of wanna not over clutter the table again. I actually have probably more out right now, and I might even weed through some of that. But yes, the G27 and this particular configuration, it is. I've got the Lone Wolf conversion barrel in here that JR10 Desert Gold sent me, along with what's left of the Underwood. This one has a brass stacker, stainless guide rod assembly in it, an extended mag release, an extended slide release. It has the Meeper Lite sights on it. It has a Ghost connector in it. I absolutely love these Gap Industries floor plates. They don't give you any more ammo, but they give you one hell of a beefy shelf to hook your middle, well, not really, that one is the chuck finger. Get your finger on there, and of course someone who for the most part has still remained anonymous sent me, all I know is it's Chris from Texas, and it's not Army Stinger, sent me the laser for it. Having a chance to do it all over again, and unfortunately you cannot put this laser on the 23. I didn't, of course I didn't have the 23 at the time, but it really kind of makes this grip quite a thing to give it a reach around. Yeah, I said reach around. But it, the Crimson Trace works awesome, and it's a nice little gun. In all honesty, I do not carry this much, but I like the 9mm configuration because it holds more of them. And I personally think this Underwood 9mm, well, maybe not Underwood 40, but Underwood 9mm is more lethal than most over the counter or factory 40. So that's the baby. This actually spends most of the time in a undisclosed location in the house. Let's just say that in the event of a home invasion and you use the front door or the back door, I'm going to get to this before you get to me. Next is the second most carried gun in my whole collection, and yes, I know, not so long ago you'll find me ripping on Glocks. The bottom line is, I still, for the most part, think they're butt-ass ugly. I don't really like the way they feel in my hand, but it doesn't transition into lousy shooting. As a matter of fact, the first shot ever out of the 27 at, I believe it was 15 or 17 yards, was a dead bullseye. No, Chuck, there's no footage of that, so you're just going to have to take my word for it, Shaky. The 23 here is also not in stock configuration. This one has the Lone Wolf barrel that Stephen Bush sent me, and since then I put the higher capacity mags from the G19 in it, along with the X-Grip adapter. This one has the Talon grip on here, the peel and stick, the rubberized. Love these things. It stayed on my Walther, which there's not one on it right now, for well over a year of every single day in the world that I work in on my side before it started to peel off. This one is showing no signs of coming off. Or is it? That's weird. It almost looks like a section of it has come off, and I don't remember taking that off of there. But Talon, awesome. So X-Grip adapter, so I can put the bigger mag in here. I don't have a problem with this printing. I don't have to have my gun concealed in Minnesota, so I don't give a shit if you see it on my side, unless of course I'm in the post office, the airport, my kids when they were in school. I never carry, just like Jerry's license plate, CCW 24/7. I'm not in the post office because I'm some whack job piece of shit that wants to do harm to people. I'm there because if some whack job piece of shit wants to do harm to people, I'm going to shoot you, and like they say, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. So I have it on me all the time. Moving on. Also has the brass stacker, stainless setup in it. I know people will say they go and go and go and go, but they're made out of plastic and I don't like it. So yes, it weighs a little bit more because it's stainless steel, but well, of course I also forgot to mention that I change out the back plates on all of them right now except for the 22. This one has the Ghost connector in it, and I've also put Meeper Lite night sights on it. And like I said, this one is probably carried most of the time. Normally, where I am right now, which is in my lounging pants, they're not pajamas, but I happen to just move from the work setup straight into this, so I have, wow, the most carried gun in the collection, the Walther. I have to openly admit that things will be changing when Jay from Elite Ammunition gets me my 5.7 back, which is somewhat going to be my fault for timeliness now, because I believe I probably, well, not probably, I will be taking him up on his offer and having it dipped. So it's going to be a little bit longer, but when the 5.7 comes back, the 5.7 will be replacing this as the second most carried gun. The 5.7 is going, I don't think I'm going to keep it as my my daily work one because of the environment and laying on my side and laying in attics and laying under midgets in the truck lot. Never mind. I just, this one will probably end up being, I wouldn't say retired, but definitely not used as much. Here, let's talk about this for a second, because I know that's what you're all here for, or her. I know, I've been told by more than one person to go with live stuff in the background. I've got a few things, but they just seem so slutty to me. No, I guess I don't have a reason why that's bad. Thanks for asking, though, Bayou Chili Head. God, Belgian style beers. It's kind of like the Glock. It's me and them. We started off not really liking each other, and now it's just they just really have kind of grown on me. I'm not up to having one as a daily drinker, but next, the G22. This is the full-sized 40 cal. This one is mostly in stock configuration compared to some, and I know one night shortly after I acquired this, me and Nyhap were looking for some images and shit, because this one has this weird kind of a cutout in it, and we were wondering why that it has that. Oh yeah, just in case anybody was wondering, they all are they've all been safety checked, and yeah, that's right. Why do you need to carry a gun? Well, fuck you, that's why. This one is probably the most stock. The only modifications of this is the Ghost connector and the Meeper Lights sights. And this one was actually, I actually got this one, oh, and the brass stacker. This one was actually purchased from a law enforcement officer. This was supposedly, I don't know what to think about that. It was supposedly his duty weapon, but this guy didn't do much duty. I know how that's, yeah, he shits a lot. That was kind of more or less the lighting, not, just look at how clean this thing is. This is, I see no, maybe right here, if that even shows up, right there, that's like the extent There's no holster wear. There is no marks on it. I mean, I've got stuff that's not duty, and the slide release is more worn on that. This one, the crazy thing about this is when Jay at Elite Ammunition tells me I'm going to shit myself when I rack the slide on my 5.7 when it comes back, because it's like glass riding on glass. I've got two things. If I were to say, feel this, and I wasn't wearing a banana thong when I made that comment, the way this is, this actually rivals some of the 1911s. Other than this, the only thing I have that's ridiculously smooth is the JP. When you grab that side charger and pull it back, it makes more noise than you feel. This thing is just, and it breaks. It breaks at 3 1/4 pounds. So I don't know what the guy had done. It does not look like the internals. It does not look like the internals were polished or anything special. But even the inside, just like I said, this was supposedly a duty weapon, and it's a good shooter. And last but not least, my personal favorite in the lineup is the G20, the full-size 10mm. And unfortunately, they only make this in the 29, which is the little guy. Really wish they made this in the middle of the road. Of course, modifications. Of course, I'm Irish and I'm proud of it, so put the back plate on there. Actually, this particular one came from Gun God 556, and it sat for a while because I had already purchased my own for the 27 when he sent me this, so it ended up on here. So this one has Meeper light sights. I could not get the green, so this one has green orange on it, which still work very nicely. It has the brass stacker, which I ordered originally in black and then polished it when I polished the stock barrel in it. Ed sent me the light, which works yet. I'm amazed with how much it gets beat. Again, Talon grips. This one, on the other hand, is a little bit more advanced on the trigger. This one has the Ghost rocket setup on it, and if you've ever put in a Ghost rocket, here, see, I don't have it anymore, but I used to have the full-size version in the 45, and I figured, well, I was waiting for my these came separately, so I didn't. This was not purchased as a complete pistol. But while I was waiting for my lower to show up, I used my 45 as the guinea pig to do the Ghost rocket. And what you need to do, the Ghost rocket kit actually comes with a half rear plate and the little tool, and you stick it up in there, stick it in the hole, and you push it in and around for a little bit. Heffy, Travis, Ed, Nick, settle down, and you find the trigger bar and you fire the gun, because what's going to happen with the Ghost rocket is it has a trigger, a take-up bar on it, which the rest of the Ghost lineup does not. So when you put this thing in here, initially it's going to be, and it's not going to fire. But if the gun doesn't fire, you can't take it apart. There is a way around that, by the way, which I unfortunately had to do, because this is what happened to me. I used my 45's lower frame to do the ghost setup. Put it on, won't fire. Take it all apart, take the connector out, take a little bit off of that over travel bar, put it all back together. Nope, still won't fire. This went on with taking minute amount off of that bar until the gun would finally do this. I'm like, dude, all Glocks are the same, right? So when I got this lower, I put the Ghost rocket setup in it, put it all together without that half plate in it. I'm assuming that everything's going to be fine. And I rack it. Oh, shit. It won't fire. And I'm just like, oh, wait a second. How can I take a Glock apart? But because it's not fired, well, I racked it back like that. Took the little, took a little tool, hooked this, took the pressure off of the back plate, took the back plate off, pulled the firing pin off, and as soon as the firing pin was off, that's when it would come apart. And it ended up, you know, looking like this. So, yeah, there's nothing to see here because it's all buried inside. But this honestly has, for a Glock, you can't do anything about that twang sound, but this one, has, for a Glock, but hands down, the finest trigger. Would I, and it comes in at 3 pounds. Would I, actually I think it comes in a little less than 3 pounds. Would I want to carry this? Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, if somebody jumps out in front of me, if I'm to the point where I have drawn my weapon, I'm good with just shooting until it's empty. Would I recommend the Ghost rocket setup in a carried gun? Probably not, to be honest. And surprise, surprise, the little refrigerator turned on. But yeah, this is got some serious polishing done on this. But this guy is definitely for more. Well, it's not because it's a Glock that it's my favorite gun, but it's a 10mm, and it's one of the few purpose-built 10mm pistols on the planet, where everybody else has done something with something else. I have not found any bad press on that, and hands down, the best part of that is that. So, now that we're up to whatever we're up to, Dub Glock, I hope you're happy, and the ammo is all out. So, let's discuss, finish discussing this and let you guys go. You have to like the Belgian yeast, but this is one of the tamer ones I've had. Very tasty, very smooth. Maybe if you're Belgian curious, this one might be the one that I would tell you to look for and give a try. More than others, it is extremely lively, and that carbonation just has a champagne-like quality to it. It just seems like if a regular beer is 5 bubbles per square inch, I'm just trying to throw this into some kind of, I don't like pipe fitters term, this one feels like about 25 bubbles per square inch. I'm actually really kind of liking this, just because it's a Belgian and I am who I am. I want to leave some leeway in case I find something else, because right off the top of my head, there hasn't been too many Belgians that have really hit that. When Jay sent me the two, the non-Delirium was the one that was like awesome. And of course I look for it, and I can't get that one, but I can get the one that he sent me along with this. But I would definitely get this again, and I would give this a 9.5. As a matter of fact, I might go get another one of those tomorrow. Because right now, my liver is saying, you are way too sober. And I'm like, you know what? I got something that can handle that. Where did I put it? I mean, Jay can make that possible. I still have, there it is. I still have about half of your moonshine left. Not really I'll admit, not really straight, because it's pretty mind blown. But it mixes well with a lot of things. Tomorrow, let's look at the one that the Jimbomatic got. It looks like zombies on it. Another one from the Lips of Faith series. Gratzer Ale. I'm sure there's some kind of story behind this. Best enjoyed. Wow. Okay. Evidently, since how I've been over there more than once and never saw this on the shelf, this came from Keyport, and it says best enjoyed by May of 2015. Okay, so I guess if it really, really sucks, see, I don't even know what it is. It's 4.5%, right off the bat. Lame comes to mind. It's not dead, but the Gratzer is definitely a long-buried style from Poland. Together with Three Floyds, we unearthed its robust smokiness with oak-smoked wheat and midnight wheat. Polish Lublin hops for a bitter bite, and lacto for a slightly sour finish. This pours out a billowing, foamy mouth full of indulging. Okay, well, there is a story. So let's do this one tomorrow, and it's not an IPA, so the fact that it's not fresh, we will take that into account. Or, when I say we, I mean me and Chuck. So, okay guys, we will see you tomorrow. Again, thanks guys. And Dub Glock, there you go. I hope you enjoyed my Glock.